Hey, good morning, everyone. We are live now. Happy September 1st to everyone, and good morning. Right now it's 10 o'clock Malaysian time, so I don't know where all my viewers are coming from, but I'm pretty sure a large percentage of them are from Malaysia. From reading the comments and stuff, I could kind of piece that together. But yeah, it's the day after Merdeka, Independence Day, and that was a different type of experience just because. Hey, good morning there, Flea. Um, yeah, I'm having a cup of coffee myself, guys. I mixed them actually. I went down to the 99 Speedway. If you guys don't know, that's like the best price-wise to pick up your products and stuff like that. It's not like a full-fledged grocery store, so they like fresh produce is limited to like the small little onions, the like garlic and stuff like that. Stuff that doesn't go bad too fast on the shelves. But most of it's just like you can pick up your coffee, your sodas, your stuff like that, and it's all for a really reasonable price. So that's like in the United States, we did the same thing. We go to like the dollar store first, Family Dollar, whatever, see whatever might need, we can get for $1 before we go to Walmart and stuff and finish up our more, the bigger groceries list from Walmart. But yeah, 99 Speedway is a good store here. So just remember, if you ever, so like comparably, if you go into 7-Eleven, you'll get like a monster. Let's just say a monster. It's almost 8 ringgit, which puts it around almost $2. Where at the 99 Speedway, that same can is only 5 ringgit. That's 3 ringgit difference. So yeah, there's quite a bit of a difference in your savings when you're going there. You get more bang for your buck going there. No, not with my sleep. So, Flea, have you caught up with your sleep, Daniel? No. So, since I've been coming here, I actually, just to be honest with you guys, I almost had a complete burnout because of the lack of sleep. So when Merdeka, the fireworks started and stuff, and I went out to try and find the cruise liner, and so the idea was to go to the location on the maps. So if you look up cruise liner, right, it comes up as the riverboat cruise, the same one that Ali put up and stuff like that. You'd think it would be. I mean, it goes by the same name, riverboat cruise. So I went there to inquire about the tickets, and they were closed. I had to get a hold of them through WhatsApp, but the number listed on the WhatsApp and the number listed on the flyer were different. So, yeah, it was. So I was going into that day. I'll explain all the frustration I had. But I was going into that day with only like 3 hours sleep because doing the marathon and stuff like this, and doing the marathon and then doing that last editing and stuff like this, and it's like video. Luckily all those videos are pre-edited. I only had one afterwards and stuff, but yeah, I didn't get to sleep until that day, until late. So I mean, yeah, it was like I don't know, 3 in the morning, and I was getting up really early and all that stuff. So yeah, so what the frustration was I went to, so after doing the whole marathon and stuff like this and catching up on the video side of the aspects of, because of the 4 nights of camping and stuff out in the woods and stuff, it was just upload, and their Wi-Fi here is decent, so I'm glad, I'm happy about that, but each upload is still like give or take 80-90 minutes, somewhere around there, depending on how big it is. But so after that whole marathon, which is draining anyway, then it was like wake up and then go check out on the boat issue, but the boat issue was just closed the whole time. So I was like, well, it looks like on the flyer, basically, it says we have slots open for the 6 o'clock and the 8:30. So I was like, I'll just hang out. This is for the 40 or it's either 40 or 45 ringgit package deal that they have where you get the Tower 188 tour along with the riverboat ride. And they have a 6 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. and a later one at around 10 or 10:30 p.m. And so I started seeing people showing up, and I was like, these must be the people for the 6 o'clock cruise. So I'll just hang around here, the location on Google Maps, the port, and see if I can just sneak into the 6 o'clock. Well, 6 o'clock shows up, and no one's loading up on the boats. No one's coming to unlock the gate. No one's doing anything like this. So I was like, I better really try and get a hold of these people through WhatsApp. So I was able to get them, and then they sent me the listings of their time slots, but they were like, 100 ringgits, 80 ringgits to 100 ringgits, right? And it wasn't for tonight, so I sent them the picture of the Facebook ad. Now, these ads aren't very easily Googled. Most everyone's going through Facebook and stuff like that, and I closed down my Facebook account. Well, I got rid of Messenger and stuff, so I had to download the Messenger app and stuff like this, and since I'm going through a different phone, I had to reopen one of my WhatsApp, wanted to figure out if I was the right person, all this stuff. I'm like, so having all the apps trying to disagree with me and double check me and all this, make sure I'm who I say I am and all this stuff was just frustrating. So I had to re-download Messenger, re-download the WhatsApp, start a new WhatsApp account because I didn't have it on this phone for some reason. And and then I finally got a hold of them. They sent me, the prices were not the same, so I sent them back. I had to you ever try and download anything off of Facebook? It's not that easy. An image, you got to just take a screenshot of it and then send them the screenshot. Anyway, so I sent it and they're like, that's not our company, And so I'm waiting, it's already past 6 o'clock, so that time slot's obviously gone. So I got a hold of the other company, and it's funny because when you put in that number, the little what do you say, thumbnail picture, on WhatsApp of their face or whatever. Usually if they're a company, they put their company logo there, so you're talking to the company. But it wasn't. It was just a guy like this, taking a picture of himself in the mirror. That for some reason is common now. People like to take a picture of themselves holding their camera in a mirror. So it didn't look professional. So I was like, is this your company? And are any of these is the 8 o'clock open? And he goes, no, I'm sorry, we're sold out for the whole day. So yeah, that package deal, which was a good for the price and stuff, they sold out for the whole day. So by the time I did get a hold of them, it was already going into the evening, sun's going down. I was like, well, I got to go back and charge up all my devices. So I went back and I plugged up everything, and then I went out for the fireworks. And now, before I say the mistake on the fireworks, remember when I was younger, my dad was trying. You could work for what was called your technician's, your pyrotechnician's license, and so you could set off fireworks and get paid. And my dad started being an understudy for that because you have to actually you have to work with someone that has their license several times before, as an understudy, before you can actually work up to getting your own. So he just said, well, you know what, maybe I should start pursuing this just as a way to make money during, festivals and stuff. So he brought us all with him when they were setting off fireworks. Well, we were really close to it, right? We set up our chairs and stuff like this. And the fuses are very long, like 10 feet of fuse. When you light it, takes 1 second to burn. And most of those were 3-foot fuses. So you got 0.3 of a second. So as soon as you touch it with the burning stick, it's a burning stick like this. Now you can do it electronically too. The electronically ones were set up for the finale. So all the ones in the finale and stuff, I think they set those up electronically, but the single ones, it's just easier to time it yourself by like, let them go up. But when they blow up that shell, the explosives in a shell, it's like a mortar. So when it blows, the outer parts of the shells comes back down hot on you. So not thinking, well, and honestly, not fully knowing where they were going to set it off at, we kind of saw where they were roping off. I didn't realize they were setting them off right in front of us because it was, if you look, it kind of goes out on the water a bit, and that's where they were setting up. So we were all, not just me, but a lot of us were sitting right up there by where they roped it off. And as soon as it goes off, you can kind of hear in one of my videos, you can hear a kid going, ah! Right? It's because stuff immediately started coming down on us. So I'm trying to move back. But at the same time, a lot of us didn't want to move because, it's like the crowd's behind you. But everybody dispersed real fast because it was quite a bit. And so you couldn't really film because the stuff's coming down on you, right? But luckily I had glasses. So if you notice in the video, I had to cut a few times. I filmed how close I was too. I mean, you could actually literally see it just going off right in front of me. But then I was like, I gotta move back. So a lot of that footage was, I had to dice out just because it was me trying to get back out of the crowd. So I got a little bit from a comfortable area, but I really should have been way back, by the mosque back there, and it would have been a lot nicer, a lot more beautiful. Yeah, that's all thing is I'm not really sure if all those things are going to have to be booked, especially if there's cheap. Ali is basically saying ticket at the tower at 188, but you have to book early. Not just that, it wasn't advertised good. The only real, and you try and Google it, and Google can only find, so the AI for Google can only find it on Facebook and Instagram. And I don't know why people are using Instagram here if Instagram is not allowed in this country. What I mean is, why are you using it as an advertisement for? At least my phone says Instagram's not allowed or not available in this country. So maybe one of you guys can explain that to me. I mean, I know in China they just get around the fact of TikTok and YouTube and stuff like this by using proxy servers. But as a form of advertisement, the requirement to have a proxy server to view those advertisements doesn't make sense to me. So maybe is like Instagram not allowed here or something? Just asking. Someone drop in the comments later and tell me what the deal with that is, or Flea, maybe you can tell me. Yeah, I don't know what the deal, but. So anyway, there's only two places really, Facebook, and so it's not advertised well, and so trying to find it, I had to go to Facebook and look it up and all this stuff, and then it's in Malaysian, so it's like I had to run that through the translator app to try and figure out what it actually is talking about. So yeah, it wasn't. So it's just a combination of not super well advertised, coming in a little too late for it. And not knowing the location, not knowing the location, I didn't know actually it was at the tower. And if you look, you can kind of see in the video that the tower is actually roped off during towards the evening, so people don't go up there. They don't want people going up there and viewing. I think it might have been roped off. Maybe that's for VIP seating or something, because it goes up the stairs and then around the base of the tower, so they blocked that off. Otherwise, it would just be super crowded. But, okay, so Instagram is allowed. I wonder why anytime that I try and open the Instagram, it tells me that, because I noticed a lot of people using the Instagram, so it didn't make any sense to me why it says it's not allowed in my country, or in this country. Are not available in this country. So I don't know what the deal with that is. So anyway, I can just do the proxy server anyway. I throw up the proxy server and download whatever I want. Um, anyway, yeah, so fireworks, way too close to be enjoyable. So, but still, it's a night out. Then I went home, tried to edit everything up on the fireworks, ended up staying up all night doing the editing. That's actually the night I probably stayed up the longest. And then, yeah, that's what it was. So the combination of editing all the way up to 3, this is the night I actually stayed up to 3, not the first one. I was like, I need to get up at 6, right? Because it starts somewhere between 6 and it's so for the parade is advertised between the hours of 6 and noon, but the parade's not that long. Come on, it was always like, but that's like when it's actually officially open. People start setting up and all that. So I was like, okay, well, it doesn't actually tell you exactly what time the parade starts. So I woke up at 6 and it was like sprinkling out. I'm like, I was actually, yes, rained out, but that was being selfish for myself. I was like, I need extra sleep. So I went back to bed and then I woke up at 8. So I got a little bit extra. I got 3 hours sleep and then like an hour and a half nap. So at 8 o'clock I went, and everybody else is kind of walking towards that location anyway, and you could see in the video people trying to cram into the parking lot. So I wasn't really showing up late at all, but by the time I got there, the main area around the park, not sure what that park's called. Hang on a second. Padang MBK, yeah, it's the main park by the 188 building. But that was for the parade. They didn't let you out onto the actual field itself because that's where all the bands and stuff were practicing and stuff. So we all kind of lined. I guess the parade itself must have gone just around that because the first street I came to, I should have stayed on that one. But I just wanted to wander around, film some stuff, and I ended up on a side street, which was a very packed side street. So it was closed off and everything. So it was like, okay, it's definitely coming down this way, right? So I walked down the way to get away from the crowd, and I found an opening, a better area, a bunch of kids and stuff, and I hung out there. Well, the parade itself never really went down that street. I mean, the main bulk of everything was right around the park area. So, and eventually so when the soldiers came down with the big flag and then they all stopped and they started folding up everything, a lot of people were like, is the parade even coming down this far? So a lot of people started grabbing their kids and stuff, going to where the main part of the parade was at, right? And remember, this is after we could see the people on the parachutes and stuff coming down, landing into the field area. That's probably why they had the field left open and all this stuff. So we were on the outskirts. We're all waiting for the parade, but the fact is we were also all missing out on the main bulk of the parade, waiting for it to come our way, and it just kind of just went around, the center area, and so everybody started kind of grabbing, the kids and stuff and moving towards it. So by the time I followed everyone, I was already at the back of it's like it was already 20 feet deep of crowd, and there was no way to actually see anything, because everybody's pushing up to where it is at. Well, that's all just one street, and you can't get any farther than that, so it just ended up being a headache. But it was nice getting out and just being around the Malaysian people anyway, and actually. It just, if I, next year, if I was to do it next year, I would know this. I mean, no, I don't go on this street. Stay this, go early. Well, I was there early enough because it wasn't like super packed, but it was getting packed by 8 o'clock. So I see the benefit of actually showing up. Maybe if you want to bring chairs and stuff, show up around 7. I wouldn't push it past 8 because at 8 o'clock, that main little route was already filling up. So I didn't see a big portion of it, but I saw the military, so a lot of the works, like the city works and stuff like water, ambulance, trash, whatever, all the departments and stuff. And yeah, it was just actually, so my best benefit of the parade was just being around the people and stuff, and seeing all the kids have a good time, and I thought it was kind of cool, so. But what it was I was also on a lack of sleep, so I was a little like grumpy. So by the time I got back, I had to still edit everything. I had to upload the one from the fireworks, right? Get that out. Edit the one on the parade. Get that out, and yeah, so it was a headache. And so right now I just extended my stay here, and I'm gonna stay a little bit longer, 2 nights here, because everything sold out pretty well. So like this spot, when I came in, it was just me. Then I got a roommate, but then it was like basically filled up. And I was talking to the people coming in. They said they couldn't find a room anywhere else. So I mean, they're like, I've never stayed in a hostel before, and they're like, all the hotel rooms were filled up. I said, oh, you never been in a hostel? I said, give me your wallet. No, I just joking. Welcome to hospital. Now give me your wallet. No, I'm just joking. It's not. Hostels aren't that bad. But if you've never been in one, they're a different experience. It's like, yeah, they're just hospitals. They're bunk beds. You're sharing bunk beds with people. Okay, let me catch up real quick. Yeah, 6 a.m. is the people that get there way early and set up. Yeah, you could see those people. But there was no rhyme or reason where the people were sitting either, Ali. So it's like there's some people sitting over here, but not even close to the street. Some people lined up on the street. Some people around the outside of the field. So I wasn't quite sure, how they were going to run the parade. A lot of times the parades in like in the United States, it's just on the road. So I think what happened was it wasn't just on the road, it was a combination of being in the field, right, and the road. So but I think the road was, I'm not sure what the main route was, but I'm pretty sure it's just the loop, so if you look at the map that you sent me, there's the round part of the loop, and then there's that side street that stretches out. I was on that side street, I'm almost positive. I was on that side street that stretched down and around. So they just did the loop here mostly, and then came down eventually to our neck of the woods. But yeah, lesson learned. Next time, try and stay in the main section of the loop out. The parade usually takes around 90 minutes. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think it was like, but what's entitled just the parade itself is 90 minutes, and what else is actually going on? Because I can't. Really wish I would have timed it. I would be able to give you a more honest answer. Honestly, Flea, I didn't time it. So, the Padang, the Padang is the stage for the events. That's what I thought. So I was sitting away from the stage. Okay. Yeah, okay, CS, thank you for, it says the Instagram is tied to your Facebook. You need to authenticate your Facebook. That's probably what it was then. Because since taking my classes on Facebook, since I stopped doing that, I kind of just stopped doing Facebook. I use Facebook as a learning platform, but really I don't use it as a social platform. It just is never really, it was never my thing. Okay, the highlights of the parade was military demonstrations, playing with fire. Okay, Ali said the highlight of I think the parade, The Quantum Parade was a military domination, or demonstrations domination. A demonstration playing with fire, that would actually make sense because there was multiple military groups. So like the military we saw come by in the video, it was probably only a small section of like the amount of people that were there. Man, I would have wished I could have seen that because I really do like, I highly respect the military in all cultures. And yeah, I like to watch their, plus they got good equipment if you can pick it up used. But yeah, so they would have been in the field demonstrating all that stuff. Okay. Yeah, like I said, it was the hard thing about the field though, if the whole field is actually locked off, the buildings go around the field and you only have like one street here, and once you get to the mosque area and back, there's not a lot of viewing area back here. You know what I'm saying? So you're basically, your whole crowd is on these streets, and this whole part of the street on this side was blocked off with stages and stuff. So you're issued a very small area for the size of the crowd. So that's why a lot of us were funneled into that side street. And anyway, you know, it is what it is. But these things happen when you don't know, you know. Like I said, the locals went up had the same problem, that been to it several times. But a lot of the locals didn't seem to know too much either. Like when the fireworks or stuff like this, I asked, "Are you going to the parade?" And a lot of them were like, "Oh no, I'm just passing through town and stuff." So yeah, it's. Let me catch up on some of these comments real quick. Yeah, okay. So that's the thing is not just the Sultan. So so I didn't just see the Sultan Pahang. There was actually a few military people that a lot of people were taking pictures of. And so when I saw everybody really trying to get pictures with these people, I mean, some of them are rock stars, man. I mean, like rock star, you know, like. And you could tell just by their demeanor that they knew they were important. And yeah, there was a younger guy there, and man, I don't know, everybody was really jockeying to try and get a picture with him. And anyway, yeah, so I didn't really know who these people were. I was like, oh, I need to get this on footage though. And so thank you, Flea, for actually mentioning that, who that was. Yeah, yeah, CS, yeah, I gotta ask, usually Gemini tries to take over, trying to ask the AI, you know, AI questions. And Grok, I've been having a problem with Grok. First off, Grok was supposed to actually come out because Elon Musk was so upset that ChatGPT, which was supposed to be Open AI, which is, if you know the Linux platform, it's supposed to be open, mean free, right? So it was funny because he donated so much money for for the development of Open AI, which is ChatGPT, and they turned it into a pay-for platform. So his response to that was to open Grok, you know, to have a completely free platform. But now you look at Grok and it's a paid-for platform. So I mean, that's just, you know, that's hypocritical, man. You don't get on national air and talk a bunch of BS about how your investment is fraud if they, you know, you invest in Open AI and it's supposed to be free. And so I'm going to open this company, Grok, and you know, which is going to be your free competitor, and then turn around and do the same thing that ChatGPT did and start charging for it. So yeah, look at Grok now. You have to. They're trying to put in a paid-for platform, but Grok's a little retarded. It really is. It doesn't function as well as ChatGPT remembers what you tell it. Where Grok, every time you reload it, it seems like it starts over from a platform of zero. So Grok actually seems more like Google, like when you Google something, very like emotionless and stuff. Where ChatGPT actually gives the feeling of actually being a real AI system. I mean, what I mean by real AI is like like something that's actually thinking and not just a search, not just a search spider. But that's just my opinion. Grok doesn't seem to be that good of a image creator where ChatGPT. So like when I'm actually doing thumbnails and stuff, like because AI is wrong so much. I mean, because it is wrong quite a bit. It's nice to have that remembering part. So like in ChatGPT, I'm like, hey, just remember, I want to keep 4 elements on the or less on your markup ideas on the thumbnails, or remember, I had to tell it the other day, you can't put any lettering in the lower right hand corner because that's where the time duration that YouTube will stick on there. So anything that sticks there, it won't be seen. And it's like, gotcha. So every time in the future now that I tell it to create something, it says it lists that I've already told it, is like 4 or less elements, and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, it remembers. So anyway, that's just a side chat. But I'm starting to really appreciate I'm starting to appreciate the AI programs, just because it makes it a lot easier, because I can just tell, like I mentioned this, just tell ChatGPT or even Grok. I used Grok the other day. I said, "This is what I did today. Can you make it sound interesting? Give me a title that's interesting, because really, it seems boring a lot of times. Like I woke up, I did my laundry, and I went to the store, and I ate something to eat. I got something to eat, and that's all I did today. Can you figure out a YouTube title?" And it usually spits out something halfway decent. But to me, it seems like super boring day. It's like, I mean, obviously, there's always, like when I'm traveling, there's always seems something that something interesting pops up. Life writes the script, but sometimes when like this today, I'm just gonna catch up on my sleeping, guys. I will go exploring later, but I'm gonna probably crawl back into bed here pretty soon and take a nap. You capture our previous king video. How do you know he's VIP? How do I know he's VIP? When you have 5 bodyguards. When you have 5 bodyguards and everything's blocked off in front of you, and you're standing with your wife, and everybody's trying to take a picture of you, that's what I mean, VIP. Very important person is VIP. So yeah, I mean, so the previous king's here, he's over here, and they're drawing their own crowds. Like both of them at the same time are equal, and so yeah, they were in the same area, like right here. So it was like the previous king here. I tried to videotape him, but even zooming in, I couldn't get like a good picture of him. There's too many people around him. So, like I said, I would have put a picture of him up. I just didn't. I couldn't locate him, because to actually videotape where they were at, I had to hold up my camera like this, so I couldn't see that little screen. I was just hoping that I was pointing in the right direction. And even then, they were small. And using the editing app, I opened it up, and I was able to get a long enough section where he was in frame to cut that section out, even with zoomed in with the editing software on my phone, and put that clip into the video. So not only was my camera zoomed in, so I was not super far back, but the fact is it's hard to distinguish who I'm trying to film out of the crowd. So yeah, I mean, so how do I know it was VIP? Because he was treated like a VIP. So I just don't know what his title was. He's military, and he was there with his wife, and and the people that were, I won't call them bodyguards because he probably doesn't need a bodyguard, but yeah, they're definitely keeping the crowd, at bay. Uh, Go inside train wearing a towel. Oh, you mean the dress? Yeah, no, he's talking about that the upcoming festival. Yeah, someone commented about just one of the upcoming festivals on the 13th and stuff like that. Yeah, where's it at? Yeah, I'll have to look up what's going on the 13th when that comes around. Let's see, today that's still like that's over 2 weeks away. So am I going to be here? I don't think I'll be here for 2 weeks. Honestly, I think I'll run out after a week. I'll run out of things to go exploring. So I don't know what the next city up is and stuff like that. So that's the celebration on the 13th. I'll have to keep that in check and see where I'm around. I don't know what cities are up north. I'll get on Google Maps and figure it out. But yeah, the 13th, that would require me to stay here basically 2 weeks. And I think I'd run out of things to do in 2 weeks. So I think 2 weeks is just a little too long. But it doesn't mean like in 2 weeks, if I'm close to a city, I can always swing by whatever city's closest and see what type of festival they're having there. Now, wearing the traditional dress, I'm sorry, I can't remember what it's called. I might not be able to do that. Those are actually they have, I think it's Muslim wear, right? Is it just, but anyway, I don't know if it's traditional Malaysian or traditional Muslim or, we run into that in like Hawaii. They have the traditional dresses and stuff like that, very similar. Yeah. I don't have anything wrong against it. It's just it means I would have to go purchase one and stuff, and then it'd only be good for the day because I wouldn't wear it past that point. So if it's not like too insulting not to wear one, then I'll just not wear one. But then again, it's like, how adamant am I to wear one of those? I don't know. That's the thing is I'll have to Google exactly what that is on the 13th that's coming up. Oh yeah, no, I'm working with the banks over in when it comes to the banks, I'm working with the banks over in United States anyway. So I have to do everything over the phone. All those things yeah, I had to stay longer to finish up my honeydew list. But like I said, I'm just now finishing up that getting here, and it's been nonstop, just bang, 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 like uploading marathon of premieres, and then from that into the fireworks. Well, trying to do the boat and then the fireworks, and then from that editing that day, and then getting up and going to the parade, and after that coming back editing that, and then going to bed last night. And then so I just woke up, and like this is the first time I've actually woke up and like, I don't really have much to do today. Yeah, I don't have much that I have to get done right now. So the whole time I've been here, it's just been, it's just been nonstop. So right now, this is the first day where it's not nonstop. So I'm good. So yeah, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and just. I don't have any plans right now. I'm not going anywhere, guys. So any suggestions of things you want me to go check out and stuff? Remember, I'm a hobo. Keep it cheap or keep it free. And if it's not free, then keep it cheap. And try not to go too touristy on me on the suggestions. The only reason is touristy stuff's great and stuff, But the thing is already, there's a lot to see in a city, in a town, and a place that's on the outskirts of being touristy. Everybody does touristy, but no one does like some of the smaller things. But so any suggestions and stuff, list them, and I'll be here for, I don't know. I need to slow way down, so I need to at least try and squeeze a week more out of here. So, and I think I could easily find a week worth of stuff. Even if I go out to the beach and stuff and then come back and stuff like this. Everything's still kind of sold out here, the two spots. So I extended the stay here. But the other one, that's the 20 ringgit one, they only have rooms, but they only have four beds anyway, two bunk beds and then I think one or two private rooms maybe. But yeah. Okay, guys. That's it. 40 minutes is still long. Sorry, that was just a ramble, and still have 10 people. That's not bad for just rambling along. Yeah, so I'll be here for a little bit. I'm gonna kind of relax now that everything's slow, and I'll still get out and start riding around. I rode around a little yesterday, and this has some cool stuff. So like I went down to the 99 Speed Mart, and they started setting up the night market. And this is a different section of town and stuff. So I'm gonna like really bust my hump on trying to figure out some of these cool things that that pop up that are very like local based, like the night markets and stuff like that here. And yeah, so at least a week is planning on me being here. Hi guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, and thanks for joining me guys, and good morning y'all.